in your wheel, thinking low. Just
Evan Kemper.
when you can't go wrong in the light, you will find the road. You will find the road.
Down. You lay down.
You came.
You made it hard not to.
I tried less dramatic methods. Did you get my cards?
Yes.
Maybe it's not surprising you respond to showmanship.
Why do you want to see me, Ed?
I read an article about you, about us, should say.
The Atlanta Constitution?
The story was picked up by the AP.
Lay down.
You said we were friends.
Yes.
Are we friends, Holden?
In the context of our work together. Sure.
Our work together. That's a nice way of putting it. I'd categorize it the same way. And yet our work is unfinished, as I indicated in my letters.
You have more insights.
I do. Well, I'm not going to trot them out like some kind of show pony, especially when you've been talking about me in my absence, using what I tell you to legitimize yourselves.
That story was not... I had a bit to drink.
What's this behavioral profiling you're touting?
Well, it's a way to determine a criminal's psychology based on crime scenes and personal characteristics.
I love that. What's my psychology?
I can't really tell you that.
You can't, or you won't.
It's shop talk, Ed.
My favorite.
We're still at a very early point in the research.
Not so early that you can't babble about it in the press. You pretty much admit that I started you down this path, so I believe you owe me an explanation, Holden.
You're what we call an organized killer.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the extreme planning that went into your crimes. You practiced picking up women several times before selecting your first victim. You used your own vehicle, both in the kidnapping and disposing of the bodies. You followed your crimes in the media, which shows evidence of continued fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the gist.
You think you can boil me down to a single adjective?
Of course not. It's merely a way to sort characteristics.
You're an expert now.
No,
Sounds like it.
I am not an expert.
But you want to be, don't you?
Yes.
Human blood is very hot. On a cold, humid morning, you can see it steam.
What are you doing, Ed?
Someone left a ballpoint pen in my court file. I used the metal casing. Is this what you wanted to see?
That's okay. Really.
You know, women were initially indifferent to me. They weren't interested in sharing. My whole life, no one wanted to interact with me, not even our cats, when I was a kid. The only way I could have those girls was to kill them, and it worked. They became my spirit wives. They're still with me. Funny thing, in the ICU, there's no system to alert the guards. It's short-sighted, seeing what kind of people come through. I could kill you now very easily. Do some interesting things before anyone showed up. Then you'd be with me in spirit. I invited you many times to visit, even with this. Never thought you'd actually come. Why are you here? Well, now, that was the truth.
Are you all right?
I can't breathe.
Did you take anything?
I don't know.
Do you have any allergies? You're not dead.
You would ask me what I'm trying to warn you. Your attitude is going to bite you in the ass.
You're developing a pattern of behavior that will not sustain you here.
But the price is gems. You seem to think your mind
Don't refrain.
Gloria, stop you thought police torture.
Mutilation. That is your world. It has made you paranoid.
Hey, I know it's okay. There's no mercy. It always is so. Whoa, whoa, when love is pain and about you, you are never alone. I will feel your love. I will feel your love. Baby, let me. Oh, let me. In the night. Everybody needs a light. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Ooh, baby. Everybody, everybody, everybody.
In every dream, and my heartache, and every step I take takes me further from heaven. The cottage is pretty, the main house a palace, penthouse perfection. But what goes on, what to do there, better pray there. Open plan living seems so essential. I bought you mail order, my plain wrapper, baby. Your skin is like vinyl, the perfect companion. You float in my new pool, deluxe and delightful, inflatable doll. My role is to serve you, disposable darling. Can't throw you away now, immortal and life-size. My breath is inside you, I'll dress you up daily and keep you till death size. Inflatable doll, lover ungrateful, I move up your body.
Don't be scared, this is just, I was just goofing around.
After 3 days in the tomb, Christ lived again. The resurrection of the body, the eternal life of the soul. That is the message of the cross, triumph of life over death. O God, who gave your only begotten Son to the cross, and by his resurrection delivered us from the power of death, to you be the glory and majesty, dominion and power, now and forevermore.
You want to go play with them, Brian? Here, give me a deck. Go ahead. You'll be great. There you go.
Want to play football?
It's more like smear the queer. The older boys are good with them. It's nice to see.
Just worry they're so big.
It'll be fine.
Rod and Harriet are coming today. You remember him, right? He's with First Credit. He's at the Carlo.
Right.
They're looking to list their ranch.
Honey, it's a barbecue.
Yes, so people are sociable. Real estate is all word of mouth. Make a little effort. Mingle. These are nice people.
I worked 65 hours this week.
I got 2 coolers of beer.
Consider me a social butterfly.
Thanks, Harriet. Oh, no problem. I'll see you there.
There he is.
Mom, I play football. Oh, Brian. Look at your shirt.
He looks like a winner, like he played the game. In the car, Broadway Joe.
Honey, you want to socialize?
Just finishing these. Yeah. Still right? No tension.
Rod. So glad you could make it.
I got roped into a game of frisbee tag.
Well, Bill was looking for a grilling partner, so you could hide out here.
Thank you. You got a really nice place. When did you buy?
About 5 years ago. I could use a little work back here if I had the time.
Well, you know Dale? He's got the tutor around the corner. He's got some room. Dale, come here.
Bill Tench.
I'm just saying you have somebody helping you with your landscaping. Dale's in contracting and this, he said something about Quantico.
I'm with the Bureau in the psychology department. We work on special projects.
Top secret.
No, nothing like that. I'm in a unit that studies repeat offenders.
Things like what?
We deal specifically with people who commit compulsive crimes.
What is that exactly?
Like Son of Sam, Boston Strangler, like that.
How do you study them?
We interview them.
In prison, they talk to them.
Some of them can't stop talking.
Who do you talk to? Give us one example. Yeah, what do they say?
You know, it's not really barbecue conversation.
Do they tell you why they did this?
Oddly, some of them love to talk about it. One guy, the co-ed killer, sat right across the table from us 2 feet away and described in detail how he murdered 6 clients.
That's nuts.
He killed them, then carved them up like a Christmas turkey.
Are they all so cold-blooded?
Depends. When we interviewed Richard Speck,
You sat in the same room with Richard Speck?
You never told me that. You know, I didn't sleep for a month after that happened. Did you, Harriet?
I don't like to hear about things like that, but I make Rod turn off the news or I never sleep.
Oh, honey, Harriet said Rod takes his boat out on 3-day weekends. I told her he'd love to fish.
How many times? So many kills. 7, 8 nurses.
9.
Why do you do it? What do you say?
Lunch, everybody!
Trust me, you don't want to know.
Sure we do.
I've been talking about this with these people. Do you understand?
Ford, please.
Look at me. Breathe slowly. That's it. I need to know you'll remain calm and I'll release you. All right?
Shepard called. He ordered copies of all our tapes and transcripts. I'm about to send them up.
Guess he doesn't want any more surprises. Can't say I blame him.
He wants to see you this afternoon.
End of the day. He asked for Holden?
Just you.
Hey. John! What are you doing down here?
I heard you've been redecorating the cellar. I ain't been down here since we used to hit the shooting range. Was it 15 years ago?
Well, it's not much, but we like to call it the basement.
Speaking of, brought your housewarming gift. It's been under my desk for 3 years.
I thought we were friends, Don.
It's going to find its way to you eventually.
BTK.
Find, torture, kill. Wichita PD used to call for consults now and again.
This has been cold for a while.
His last victim was in the 70s. But a little while ago, he had a near miss. Once Wichita confirmed it was him, they called. I told him I'm no longer in the business, but I know a guy who is.
How many's he got?
7 we think. Plus this woulda, coulda, shoulda. Anna Williams, 63, comes home from square dancing, finds things missing in her phone line cut. They treat it as a robbery. Then she receives this poem and a driver's license in the mail. He also mailed a copy to a local TV station.
'Twas perfect plan of deviant pleasure, so bold on that spring night. Oh, A, why didn't you appear? Jesus.
Sorry, poet is a criminal mastermind.
7 funerals, 3 successful.
Yeah, look at the first one. It's so sloppy, it's a miracle he got away with it. The Otero family, 74, 4 people, broad daylight, the father, 2 kids, and the dog were home. There's so many things that just couldn't have been planned.
Complicated knots. What's that on his head?
Plastic bag and 2 t-shirts. A couple of months later, the police got the first letter. Gave details only the real guy could know. That's when they called.
What'd you tell him?
That it was real. Most likely he'd kill again. You know how it was in those days. We were talking about deadweight.
Did they go public with the letter?
We advised not to. Everyone was afraid that publicity might encourage it. He's killed 3 times since then. Probably Catherine Bright, April 74. Definitely Shirley Vine, March 77. Nancy Fox, December 77. After the last one, they asked if they should tell the city they had a predator.
You said probably about one of them.
Catherine Bright, he never claimed it, but left the witness, her brother. This most recent letter corroborates one he mailed to KAKETV in 78. He named 6 of the 7 victims. Look at number 5.
Number 5. You guess motive and victim.
Bright was tied with similar knots, but she was stabbed, and we never been sure. They promoted a lieutenant for Watsky to take over the case. He was a go-getter, lots of energy. So maybe start with him.
Good to see you, Doc.
Oh, love to hear what you come up with.
Absolutely.
Oh, Bill.
Let me go to my office. We've known each other a long time, so I wanted to speak to you personally. And before you heard it somewhere else.
Should I be packing?
Oh, God, no. Bill, I'm finally doing it.
I'm sorry, sir. Doing what?
Congratulate me. I'm retiring.
Really?
Yes.
That's, congratulations, sir. It's just the timing.
I've been mulling this for ages now. I just kept putting it off. Peg is going to finally make me visit all his grandkids. timing is perfect. Found someone to take over who I think will be very good for the BSU. Ted Gunn, Assistant Director of Public Affairs in DC.
Public affairs?
He's not just an expensive suit. He was a brick agent in Los Angeles for SLA and Black Panthers. He heard about our convictions in the Devier and Salt cases, and based on that, he passed on the top floor of the Hoover building.
To Contra Quantico?
He wants to expand the units, and he intends to make our approach practice. Everybody's jockeying for position in the modern FBI. I want you in to meet him first.
I appreciate that, sir. When is all this?
He's in the conference.
Question for us is, why? I think we know why. I understand. All you have to do is tell us if we're right.
Sorry, I have to get to the end.
It's fascinating.
Special Agent 10.
Please, Bill. A.D. Shepard told me you'd taken an interest, but it looks like you've dug in.
The greatest hits.
You'll be in excellent hands, Bill, and if you need anything, my office is at your disposal.
Just finish the Devier tapes. There are 5 minutes and 58 seconds missing. You go from discussing school bus times to a full confession. Whatever happened to the cat must have been awfully compelling. It's unfortunate that Walker failed at precisely that moment.
Yes, sir, it is.
Who's responsible for his lapse?
Agent Ford.
Well, we know he can learn. You expressed concerns about Agent Ford's OPR. Why?
My experience is that instinct can sometimes get you into trouble. Interrogations, they're partnerships. It's challenging when your partner goes his own way.
Bill, my intention in coming to the BSU was specifically to establish the work you were doing here as protocol, so should I cut Agent Ford loose?
Sir, Holden's practices may be questionable, but it was his idea to interview violent felons. And when we started using what we learned anecdotally, it was his
instinct which guided you.
He gets things out of sociopaths that polite methods just don't. It would be more than detrimental to release Agent Ford, sir. It would diminish the promise of our work.
I see the way I see. I want this unit to go from being a cold case call to the first call, and as soon as instincts be harnessed.
Harnessed, sir?
Do you know anything about racehorses, Bill?
Not enough to win at the track, unfortunately.
And sometimes you have a yearling with natural speed, but he's wild, ill-tempered. The trainer has a choice. Geld him, he becomes more tractable, but it can take away his spark, the thing that makes him exceptional. So the trainer might put blinders on him. Now, when the horse races, he feels like he's alone. He does what he does best, but on the track. You understand what I'm saying?
You don't want to castrate Holden.
I need you to be Agent Ford's blinders. Keep him from swinging in too wide a mark. I count on you for that.
Absolutely, sir.
Tell me about Dr. Carr.
Dr. Carr gives essential context to everything he did.
Are you on the same page?
We have to ask her, sir. I'd like to think we are.
Just want to be certain it's going to have an academic in our midst. It helps not hinder our progress.
Well, I believe it does.
It's great to talk about. Please, if you need anything, let me know.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, and the OPR investigation is, in my opinion, improvement. I'm working to have this mess. I'll let you know, successful.
That'd be a relief.
Would you send Agent Ford up?
I gave Agent Ford a couple of days off. He'll be in the office Monday.
Monday morning will be fine.
Would you like this open?
Please.
Yeah.
Shepard's retiring.
Really?
That's what he says. I have to take him at his word. And I met his replacement from DC. He might be just what we need.
How so?
He sees our potential. But he says he's going to bat for us with LPR.
Well, we'll see.
Anybody heard from him?
No.
You try calling his friends?
Does he have friends? Anything from OPR?
You know what? We might be okay. PSU attention. I said. Where the fuck have you been?
A panic attack is a miscued fight or flight mechanism. You think it's a heart attack, but the body is just sending oxygen to organs that need it for defense. Late brain evolution.
That's about right.
I didn't have a heart attack.
The panic wasn't protracted. We finally had to sedate you. You'll want to watch for panic disorder and repeat episodes.
It could happen again.
What caused it in the first place?
I treat the body, not the mind. I can send you down the hall to look at ink blots, but my advice is manage your stress and try not to do whatever you were doing the first time it happened. If it recurs, benzodiazepine works. Here's a script with one refill.
Valium?
Good luck. You're my first patient to walk out of here in 25 years.
You can still dress yourself, can't you?
Who brought you to the SU, Dr. Connor?
Agent's attention Ford approached me.
Not the campus. What enticed you to give up life in Boston to work in a basement cataloging the deranged?
I believe that what we're doing is important. We're studying psychopaths, what they do and why has always been of keen interest. But my work was with white-collar criminals. They're hyper-normal and incredibly subtle. So having a captive pool of subjects whose issues are profound is a singular opportunity. And I felt
Like you might make a difference.
Mhm.
I see your contribution here as critical. And the integrity of your research foundational to everything we have to do with the SU.
I'm glad to hear that, sir.
I've spoken with Bill, who is extremely complimentary of your work. What can you tell me about Agent Ford and his role?
Agent Ford is inspired, but he tends to acknowledge data only if it supports his hypotheses.
He has been successful.
In some cases, very. His choices are always interesting, but he tends toward myopic and impulsive.
And yet successful. I believe all great things are created in a place between method and madness, Dr. Carr. You feel that's reckless?
No, it's just the first Hamlet reference I've heard since coming to Chicago.
Agent Ford needs to be able to make choices during interviews which may be atypical.
Are you asking me to condone unprofessional behavior?
No, I'm asking you to help me prevent it. But without stifling his intuition. Can you help me do that?
I'll certainly try.
That's all I can ask. You know, I was offered chief of staff to the director before I came here, but I gave it up to work with you in the basement. I already believe I made the right choice.
Well, thank you, sir.
What? Get it together. Panic attacks, visiting Kemper. What the fuck? Why'd you go?
I don't know, Bill. Sorry. I Was there anyone else I could
It
call?
wasn't a great time for me to leave work. And you don't walk out on OPR. You get that, right? I'm assuming you want to keep doing this whole thing, that it's not too stressful.
Yes.
Then here's what's going to happen. You're going to take the weekend, get your shit together, and on Monday morning, you're going to present yourself as an able, responsible, and funny professional. And no one need ever know about this episode. But from now on, it's my rules. If I tell you to shut your mouth, you shut your mouth. Nod your head if you understand.
I'll talk to Shepard on that.
Shepard's retiring. His replacement is Assistant Director Ted Gunn. He asked for you. Don't worry, I covered.
I appreciate that.
You'll meet him first thing Monday morning.
What's he like?
Very DC. Gonna be honest like stink on shit. But if we walk the straight and narrow, it might be okay.
If you need anything,
Oh, that's fine.
you're welcome.
Lay down. Lay down. Come here. Come. Cut. Hold on.
Agent Ford, good to finally meet you. Pleasure to meet you, sir. Just Ted. You've been to the executive dining room.
Just the cafeteria.
They make a great omelet.
You're new. Wendy, last week, I shouldn't have accused you.
No, you didn't know. No, I'm not interested in the internal politics of the FBI. But I spoke with Gunn, and it sounds like we're getting a fresh start, so apologies accepted.
And I apologize. By the way,
I have some interesting new subjects you should look at.
sounds good. How long has he been up there?
10 minutes. He came in, dropped his things, went upstairs.
Fingers crossed.
What you're gleaning from these interviews is groundbreaking. It's the future of the Bureau.
I agree, but we haven't really been
Getting much support. We work up a very big ship. Hard to turn by design. These ideas aren't just progressive, they're practical and effective. You've proven that.
I've tried, but it's been a battle.
And I'm here to change that. I respect Assistant Director Shepard, but we differ in many ways. I welcome innovation, even when it comes with some inconvenience. We don't need DC to give us their permission. I want them to see us as the train leaving the station and fear being left behind.
How do we do that?
Results. Like we got with Devier and the Altoona case. I'll put you in position, but you must deliver. Tell me, who's the one you want more than anything? The one Shepard said you couldn't get.
Oh. Manson.
I'll get you Manson, but I need something from you in return.
You got it.
Nothing derails an initiative faster than your investigation.
It's a full response.
I'll make it go away, but I need total transparency. You will have a direct line of communication.
No, this is the Peach Shower Road.
I want your assurance. I will never be blindsided. Ever.
You needn't worry about me.
Can I tell you something, Holden? Agent Tench, Dr. Carr. I love this team you've put together.
Thank you, Ted.
William Henry Hess, 26 when he was arrested in 78 for killing 4 women.
Our first black serial killer.
There are so few statistics on black serial killers that will essentially be creating a database.
And?
I was impressed.
Oh, you were?
He has vision.
Great. So, Hans?
What's really interesting about him is that his first victim was white. It's the first time any of our subjects have crossed racial lines.
Could that have been racially motivated?
Well, we want to ask that. But more importantly, if it wasn't somehow racially determined. Hans is at the same penitentiary as one of our other subjects who was convicted of 8 murders, William Pierce Jr. So you could get them both at the same time.
He's getting us Manson.
Excuse me?
Ted told me he's getting us Manson.
How'd that happen?
Manson doesn't really fit into the category of psychosexuals that they've interviewed.
You're saying we shouldn't talk to the most infamous murderer of the 20th century?
Manson never killed anyone. Unlike all of these subjects who have multiple times and at least once with a sexual component.
I kind of agree with Dr. Carr. We can't just go after the infamous.
Okay. Before we move forward with anything, I feel we should clear the air.
Which area would you like to clear?
I discussed this with Bill, but I want you both to know too. With OPR, I took full responsibility for suggesting the transcripts be altered. That will not hang over anyone.
I was completely honest as well.
Greg? What did you tell them?
I told him the truth. I explained that you asked me to alter the transcript.
The OPR investigation escalated because someone sent them the spectator. I was the only person who didn't care who heard what was on that tape, so it could have been me, but I know I didn't do it. Shepard made the decision to destroy the tape, so he had the most to lose. Bill, you were adamant about getting rid of it, so it wasn't you. And Wendy, I was frankly shocked to hear them accuse you.
We were all in a bit of shock, Holden.
Wendy had no reason to sell the tape. She would never jeopardize our hard work. You sent the spec tape to OPR.
I felt like we were getting him deeper into. Jesus Christ. We needed to be honest. You needed to be honest.
Why didn't you come to this claim?
I did, but you all chose to cover up. If we spin lies, alter records, that's a slippery slope.
Fair enough.
Is it fair enough that you put all of us at risk just to soothe your delicate conscience?
I sent the tape anonymous. I was prepared to go down with evidence.
So we could all be on unemployment together.
Greg, I think we need to trust moving forward that decisions affecting the entire unit will not be made without discussion.
I don't think Benedict Arnold gets a vote anymore.
Sorry. Hope I'm not interrupting.
No, we were just discussing next steps.
Yes, Agent Smith. Sure. I'd like you all to know OPR has officially closed its inquiry.
That's great news, sir.
Yes. And that means we will indeed be moving forward, although I'd like to accelerate our timeline. Currently, it's Sense to take home. Ballpark.
Rough ballpark. 2 more years for interviews, another for synthesis.
Too long.
I intend to get you the resources you need to complete your work properly and promptly. Researchers, transcribers, technical support, whomever, whatever you need, I will get. How's that sound?
Province.
It does. Doesn't it?
This room is being wired for a CPU to handle all your data. There's space for trainee agents, support personnel. You can begin your selection process and start creating your training curriculum right away. We're also adding a break.
And a bathroom?
And a bathroom.
This is perfect, Ted. Where are you going?
Since we have all this new space, I'll be just down the hall.
Let the healing begin.
Hey, buy your drink?
It's not necessary.
There's something that I'd like to get your advice on. If you have time.
You're buying. How did you find this place?
Sunday after work, with a lot of events.
So, what is it that you want to discuss? Is this about Greg?
No, why do you say that?
Playing him like that. You can handle better.
I thought with Shepard leaving, we should start with a clean slate.
I don't think that Bill sees anything as clean, especially now that FBI tribal walls are broken.
At least now he knows you didn't want to date
What's between Bill and me? We could have all done without the public story.
I don't have a problem with Greg. Now that I know his limits.
His limits?
He has a particular moral code. At least now we can anticipate that.
So, if not Greg,
I was in the hospital.
and you're right.
Yes. I am now. I had a panic attack. Actually, they said I had several. I don't remember. I was heavily sedated. The doctor told me I had panic disorder.
Has this ever happened before?
No. Yeah.
Well, then I need you to tell me what happened physically, and I want you to be precise.
It felt like I was having a heart attack. I couldn't breathe.
Did you lose consciousness?
No.
Vision?
Tunneled.
Have you had any symptoms?
The opposite. I feel energized. I want to get back to work, and we're finally getting the support we need. At the same time, I don't want any single...
Specifically, what precipitated the episode?
I went to see Shepard.
By yourself? Panic attacks are often brought on by feelings of acute vulnerability. Well, psychopaths are extremely manipulative, and he knows you, so he would know exactly your areas of sensitivity. Did he threaten you?
No, not exactly. He hugged me.
When we empathize with the psychopaths, we actually negate the self. We deny our own beliefs about decency and humanity, and that can be very dangerous.
I can handle it.
Are you sure? Because the last place that you would want for this to happen is during an interview, especially...
Which is why I wanted to see if you had any insights.
Ideally, you would regulate the stress in your life. Inside of that, there's getting enough sleep, exercise, maybe meditation.
Exercise. I can do that. I can jog.
And that's a good start. But you also need to pay attention to the signs. Shortness of breath, accelerated heart rate, impaired vision, vertigo. I can keep an eye out, but you are the only one that's going to feel something coming on.
Okay.
He hugged you? I'd like to help you. So if you need someone to talk to about anything, I'm here.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Because sometimes doing what I do, it's nice to know that there there's someone there for me.
Following service in World War II as a decorated airman, Assistant Director Shepard spent 6 years in the Baltimore PD and was a distinguished graduate of Quantico, class of 1953. In his
He said 27 years. I think he's ecstatic to go stand in waders with the fish.
Spearheaded the introduction of computer technology and developed countless pioneering training techniques. But his most lasting legacy could be our behavioral science unit, which is set to expand and will establish the foundation of a national criminal database.
Sounds like someone's embracing what we've
With an
done.
eye on the future,
Embracing the
Robert
inevitable is
says
having
on
fun all around here.
decipher crime scenes from a psychological perspective, allowing agents to predict criminal behavior from the smallest.
That's a lot of icing, not a lot of cake.
Come up with a
He doesn't
bureau,
look okay.
and say that his reputation has always been one of integrity, honesty, and absolute decency. For your service, I express the gratitude of the Bureau, and my congratulations to you and to Peg and to your loving children, Trevor, Sean, and Lisa, and Rachel.
Hey, welcome to your first formal bureau ass lick.
We found a perch out of this fray.
You're absolutely welcome to take shelter on the sideline with me if you wish.
It's a very civilized aspect.
Half the Hoover building came down. You want our best behavior. That guy will know everyone's name before he leaves. I was really ruling.
He seems intelligent, fair, and very supportive. Places a lot of stock in Holden. Actually, he charged me with keeping him on rails.
Really?
Why is it funny?
He asked me the same thing. He's shrewder than we thought.
2 babysitters, better than 1.
True. Listen, I gotta do this thing. A little tip. If you start to see guys loosening their ties, get out while you can.
Excuse me, everyone. If I could have your attention. Thank you. As you all know, we're here tonight to pay tribute to one of our finest. A mentor, a friend, and a damn fine agent. Robert, to you, sir. As FBI agents, we all want to bag one of the top 10 most wanted. Well, sir, now that your top 10 have names like Trout, Pike, and Bass, we thought we should upgrade your use of lethal force. How about this? Huh? Speech.
I've been honored to serve with so many of you. You have distinguished yourselves and the Bureau. You have made me proud every day of my tenure, and I can't begin to thank you enough. And for this, I'm putting this to use as soon as I get out to Montana. And if my wife files a missing persons report, ignore it. Thank you.
I just wanted to say, I've only had the honor of working with you for 3 of your 27 years. But in that time, you went out on a limb and championed bold, new ideas. With your support, we've lifted the mask from evil and are peering into the very mind of the criminal. Our little unit thanks you, sir.
Sir.
Hey.
I just wanted to let you know, I meant what I said.
I'm sure you did, Agent Flynn.
Are you okay, sir?
Yeah, let's think about tomorrow. First day of retirement.
You're practically sneaking out of your own party. I just feel like...
Oh, I can't wait to hear how you feel with Harry.
self-serving.
Get
I
down.
put in 27 years, went from brick agent to corner office. I'm leaving everything I worked for with the giant stain of you all over.
Sir,
Do you honestly believe I'm retiring? You vain, glorious little shit. I'm being forced out because somebody has to take the fall for your insubordination, reckless lack of judgment, and titanic vanity.
I took complete
You
responsibility.
really are. Is all of that fresh cut earnestness just an act, or are you truly oblivious to the wreckage you leave in your wake? I survived a war, the streets of Baltimore and Hoover, and I'm finally being finished off by you? What? Jesus, you really are a pussy.
Sir, thought you'd forgotten your date.
Not after all these years.
Bill, what is it?
Terrible signal. We even recognize. Gentle collapsing. The removal of the insides. I'm touched by your feet. I value these moments. We're all alive. We bring out love in someone's eyes. Frequent returning, leaving unnoticed. Condition of mercy, a change in the weather.
How you doing, Bobby Taylor? If I had to turn you down 7 times to lose the proposal, if I had to turn you down once, if I were you, I'd have taken this man in and had him do it. Oh, and Hollywood.
Thank you.
Well, Max Liquor Store's gonna come take your
Miss Mike, where do you stand on active leads?
Nobody. Or everybody. But every time we get a letter, we get a new detail. Right now, we're trying to trace the Xerox machine he uses by signature marks on the paper edge, ink diffusion.
Sophisticated work.
I got 20-year street cops who know more about Cumberland than the copy guy. Could be our spin on wheel again. When we get to the station, you can see the letters.
Any of the crime scenes accessible?
All of them. We're still making, but we come through them pretty good over the years.
It really helps to put the photos in context, if you don't mind.
Might as well start at the beginning. Otero. Live the drive. Hope you don't mind little Willie Nelson.
Not at all.
North Edgemore, the Otero house. January 1974. They just moved in 2 months prior. It was a school day. Neighbors were coming and going on for it. One of them even saw BTK drive off the family car afterwards. Women around here come home. First thing they do is check the phone still works. 12 years later. I think it came in here, 2 kids making their lunches. They're already home school.
They had 5 kids in this house.
Retired military. Each place has it. No forced entry. Dog was in the yard when we got here.
It makes no sense to come into a house with an adult male and a dog.
Nothing makes sense. He took the money out of Miss Otero's wallet, emptied her purse, stole the watch. Clearly, robbery was not his motive.
And the driver's license information. He was taking souvenirs. And he already knew what he wanted on his very first kill. So the dad would have been about here, tied to the foot of the bed. Police report said he was suffocated with a plastic bag and a t-shirt.
Later found there was a hole in Mr. Otero next to the river with his teeth. Killer took the plastic bag off, put the t-shirt on over his head so he couldn't tear it again, and then put the bag back on.
And this is Otero was on the van. She had double ligature marks.
Must have come to, so he had to do it again. You think that since it was his first try, he botched it.
The kids must have been in here. They had to have seen everything.
We found the youngest boy on the floor, suffocated.
2 t-shirts in a bag. So the killer took no chances. He would have brought the little girl in here too. Couldn't leave her alone.
There was a chair here with deep carpet in it
Sad to watch the boy die. That would have taken 24 seconds.
Partner and I were first on the scene. It was completely dark down here. He was feeling for a light and something bumped him. That's when we found the little girl hanging from this pipe.
What happened to the older Otero kids? Any chance to talk to them?
Relatives from Albuquerque came and got them. They won't let the kids relive any part of it. They were once found bodies. Cut the ropes from their parents' necks, trying to save them. Calm down again.
5 years later, nothing.
We kept thinking we'd catch him just around the corner. That first week after Otero, not one of us went home. We turned over every parolee, every sex offender. My partner and I had stayed over for the night.
In the house.
Hoping the killer would come back.
See anything?
Nothing. A month later, we stayed the night in there again. With a psychic.
You consulted Uri Geller before the FBI.
We were grasping at anything. That poor guy got so freaked out, he was gone the second sun came up. So is that true? Do these guys return to the scene of the crime? We're just going on what we'd always heard, old detective stories. Psychopath feels guilty or something.
Ed Kemper, the co-ed killer.
Yeah?
He told us he went back, but not out of anything like guilt. He considered those places somehow sacred, if you can imagine that. Truthfully, we haven't been asking that question, but we probably should. Tell me about his letters. They were all sent to the press.
Cops actually got spooked. We wondered, did he know who was working the case? Would he come after us, our wives? I had this one sergeant, 10-year guy, tough. Slept on himself with a shotgun for a year. Finally, he and his wife relocated. We've lost a lot of the original task force over the years.
I bet.
It's hard on guys.
What about the lady you missed? Can I speak with her?
Anna, she moved the next day. Left everything behind, furniture, everything.
He's clearing out the town.
He's got the whole city twitching like prey.
Kathy Bright's brother, he's still around.
He's around. I think that's why BTK never named her as a victim. He knew he left a witness. He hadn't claimed
Got one,
something,
buddy.
he would never
Got
expect
one.
her. MO's wrong. She was stabbed. Kevin was shot.
9-6.
Son of a bitch wants credit for every single one.
I'd like to talk to Kathy.
Took 3 bullets in the face. Spent a year in the hospital.
Is he reliable?